thing that troubles me the most here in the country is that we become so partisan. I remember when I first joined the Congress way back 1980, there was a rule, the partisanship stops at the water's edge. That's gone. There was a time in that history when I joined the Congress when one party had such a commanding presence in the Congress that the other never even thought about gaining control, so they got along. Now they both realize they can control things if they just destroy each other sufficiently. I mean, the lesson of the Republican takeover of the House was that, if you could tear down the institution so dramatically in the eyes of the American public, you can take it over. That's been repeated now in the last election cycle, and it'll be repeated again if partisanship is so important in this country that people are willing to just attack each other rather than debate each other's ideas. There was a editorial, I think, in one of the news magazines going way back, I remember, that talked about the impact of television and negative campaigning upon the politics of our country. And I made the case that television was such a powerful entity that if you combined it with negative campaigning and negative advertising, you could wreak some pretty significant damage to our system. I think that's happened. In fact, they pointed out, if McDonald's and Burger King had run ads for 10 years on television, not talking about how good their products were, but how awful the other guy's products were, and rotten and disease-causing, etc., we wouldn't be choosing them on brands. We would be eating the hamburgers anymore. And the point the article made was that, we're reaching a stage where we're not choosing between candidates anymore. We're turning off on the whole system. And Americans today are turning off dramatically on the two parties, on the system. The reputation of Congress is at an all-time low. Presidency's reputation is at an all-time low, driven in large part by our willingness to attack each other rather than to debate our ideas as civilized human beings. And I think we face a real danger here in this country if it continues. At some point, respect for the institutions of our government either has to recover, or this all-time low we're experiencing is going to pull it apart. And who knows what we get in its place. Well, there's an easy recipe, and the easy recipe is to turn out anybody who plays negative politics and start insisting that candidates speak positively about each other and about their ideas and debate the ideas. And the national press could help with that, but obviously, everybody likes a good fight, so instead we like negative politics. And as much as people say they don't like them, you check with the pollsters, they work. They literally help elect candidates. If I can make you believe the other guy's worse than I am, I get your vote. We got to recognize that ain't good for the country. We got to change that. We've got to literally start rewarding positive politics in America again. We've got to start rewarding those who are willing to reach out across the middle, the chasm, and work together. There are fewer and fewer people brave enough to do that in America. We've got to start rewarding them when they do that. We got to say to the Joe Liebermans, we're not going to penalize you because you reached across the aisle and worked with Republicans on something that was important. Or to say to conservative Democrats that you're going to get penalized because you work with Republicans. Or to Republicans who reach across the aisle and work with Democrats on a health care issue, whatever it is. We've got to start saying that's okay. That's not only okay, that's good. And we can't let the parties run the show.